everybody, Bill Caskey back to the Bill Caskey Podcast. I'm your host. I'm glad you're here. If you have not rated or reviewed the podcast, I would love it if you did so. That helps us expand the algorithm. If you are new to the Bill Caskey Podcast, we take a deep dive into mindsets, mechanics, strategies to help you become a higher achiever. We're going to be running a series of webinars over the next several weeks, masterclasses, virtual events. Go in the show notes and you can get access to those and get on a wait list, because I want to make sure we're always limiting these to about 100 people. And so I want to make sure that you get in, my listeners get in. And if you're on our email list, you'll get access to it as well early. Okay, so let's talk about this. This came from an event that I do every month. It's called The Insider. It's a group of about 40 to 50 people who meet once a month for 75 minutes. And these are sales professionals, CEOs, VPs of sales, entrepreneurs, creators, founders, anybody who wants to be better at customer acquisition. And we talk about strategies and mindsets and mechanics that will help you do exactly that. We've talked in the past few months about leveraging your assets. How do you really leverage those things that you already have at your disposal, but maybe you don't use well? Talked about the magic of the first call. We've talked about how to build a roadmap for your customers so they know exactly where you're taking them. So we talk about some pretty deep issues. And in the last session, we talked about the 10 mindsets. I'm only going to give you 5 because if you're a paying member, you deserve to have all 10 to yourself. But if you would like to join us, you can go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/insider. We'll put that show note in the show notes as well. It's $97 a month. It's easy in, easy out. If you come for a few months and don't like it, you can always escape. We're not going to chase you down for $97. So I talked about 5 mindsets, and first 5 were very generic. They were very generic about detachment and how to reclaim power in the buyer-seller dance. But the last 5 were a little bit more specific about how to look at the world today. And so I want to share those with you. Number 1 for you. The number 1 mindset that I want you to embrace is your value is unlike anybody else's. Now, we all know that intellectually. We know that what has shaped us, our parents, our culture, our experiences, our mountaintops, our valleys, our wins and losses, all that stuff that we have experienced in our life shapes us today. But what we don't often think about is, what does it shape us into? What are we as a result of all that stuff that we've been through? Well, what you are is unique. Unlike any of the 7.3 billion or however many people there are on the planet, nobody has had the same stuff happen to them that you have to you. And my prediction is that the people who will prosper in the next year or two will be those who are willing to share their authentic life experiences and be real online and be real when you're talking with prospects. Be yourself. Don't be the bot. You know, we're laughing about online bots. Well, hell, corporate America has been sending out bots into the marketplace for 40 years. Just people who are automatons who just do what the boss tells them to do. We're beyond that. Bring your whole self. Oh, Bill, what if I brought my whole self? They may not like me. Okay, they may not. Or they may be attracted to you because they're getting to know the true you. So mindset number 1 is you are unlike anybody else. Own it. Mindset number 2, I am a media company. You are a media company. Now, what that means is that you are responsible for your own media. You are responsible for your own promotion. Your marketing department is not going to do this for you. They don't think this way. No marketing department I've ever heard of yet thinks about you as a media company. Now, they should be thinking about the company that they represent, you work for, if you do work for a company, as a media company. If you're a CEO, your company, let's say they're in the SaaS business, okay, you do SaaS stuff, but you're also a media company. You're a media company because you have content that you need to put out. You have an audience. You have editorial calendar. You have a schedule of when you want to create content to put out. You have people that call you because they want to do business with you. You are a media company. But if you don't see yourself that way, if you see ABC, CBS, Fox, ESPN, if you see them as media companies and not yourself, you're giving up almost all of your power in the audience and in the marketplace. So think of yourself as the media company and think, okay, what do media companies do? Well, they have specific audiences they serve, they have content they create, and I want you to start thinking like that, okay? It's a mindset shift. It's more than just, I need to post on LinkedIn. Bigger, much bigger than that. Marcus Sheridan talks about this a lot as well. Number 3, AI is my friend. AI is my work buddy. Sounds a little creepy, doesn't it? I want you to stop thinking about AI as a tool to use to write emails and start thinking about it as your own co-pilot, as your own virtual assistant, as your own chief of staff in a way. If you're an owner, you have a chief of staff. If you're a sales professional, you could still have a PR firm or an agent, a personal agent maybe, or a virtual agent. Think about AI in that way. Stop thinking about, well, how do I get it to write a better email? I think you are giving up a lot of what's possible in AI. I'm going to be doing some content soon on the 5 uses of AI for a sales team. I think there are 5 specific uses. One of them is make AI your personal assistant. Learn how to do that. There's a lot of good podcasts that talk about this topic. You need to train your AI. And yes, you probably need to spend $20 a month to get the premium version of ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, whatever those are, whichever one you want to use. But make AI your friend. Make it somebody that you think of all the time. I'm getting ready to do this task. How can my AI buddy help me? And I think when you start to think of it that way, you're going to come up with all sorts of stuff. And trust me, AI does not need to be plain Jane, vanilla. It does not need to have weird language in there. A well-trained AI, a person reading it would not know the difference between you and AI. If it's untrained, everybody's going to see the difference. So that's mindset number 3. Number 4, LinkedIn is my media partner. Remember we talked about I am a media company, and we talked about AI. Now we're talking about, well, specific platform is my media partner. Think of LinkedIn as your media partner, not as a social platform, not as a tool to promote stuff, although they may do that, not as a tool just to put your writing, although it may do that, or place your videos, although it may do that. Think of LinkedIn as a media partner. They have access to video, audio, millions, billions, millions of names. You can write an email you can write a newsletter on LinkedIn. You can post a show on LinkedIn. You can direct message people, obviously. But if you start to look at LinkedIn a little bit differently than just a social platform that my manager, Caskey, says I need to post on every week, think of it as a media partner. What would a media partner do for you that if you didn't have a media partner, you couldn't get done? Well, first off, it has access to millions of people, just like a media company does. And without it, you would not have access to those people. Now, you may not care about 1 million people. You might say, Bill, I just call on the doctors and dentists in the Midwest part of North Carolina. I've got 30 counties. That's all I care about. Okay, they're all on LinkedIn. You can develop some LinkedIn strategies that are very geographically related and focused on where you call. But you've got to start seeing LinkedIn as a media partner. It's somebody that it's free. Now you may have Navigator or may have some other additional premium services. That's fine. That's probably even better. But for the price, it's nothing. So think of LinkedIn as your media partner. Okay, let's go to number 5. Number 5 is, this is a mindset shift. The details today are vital. It used to be, back in the old days, where you would send out an email and it would get opened 75% of the time and the click-through rate would be 50%. And people couldn't wait to open an email. You've got mail. Oh, wow, I got email. Now it's a big, fat nuisance. Email is a nuisance. So you've got to pay attention to the details of all of these things. For example, email. What's your subject line? Does your subject line really speak and does it really cause someone to want to open the email? What about your first line of the email, your first paragraph? Does it cause someone to want to read the rest, or does it cause someone to say, man, I'm sorry I opened this, next? All the details are important today because people have so much coming at them in terms of media in different mediums that you've got to be really focused well. What about a video? When you shoot a video, When you shoot a video, can you just start talking for 30 seconds about your day and before you get into the subject matter? Of course not. People will click away. You got 3 seconds. If you're not in the first 3 seconds of your video saying, hey, in this video, I'm going to share with you A, B, and C, and this helps solve problems D, E, and F. If you're not doing that, you're losing people. So the details today are so important. And I know a lot of we sales professionals, business owners, are not detailed people. That's a problem. Find somebody on your staff who can be your detailed agent. Maybe you could even ask AI to do that. What are all the details of your business that relate to sales and marketing and promotion and emailing and writing, content writing, outlining of videos? If you have a podcast, how can you really take your podcast up a level or two? So the devil is in the detail is an old saying that I never cared for, but it's very true today. So you've got to wrap your mind around the details. And I see it all the time where people come to me and say, our emails just aren't producing what they used to. They used to produce customers, now they don't. And I look at the emails and I'm like, well, you never had said anything at all that was interesting for a prospect. So let's change that first. Okay, I hope that has helped you. Those are the 5 mindsets that I think if you were to embrace these and start to be mindful of them, they could radically change your world. I hope this has helped today. Once again, go to billcaskey.com/masterclass to get access to our next webinar. We're going to be running a series of them, as I said, and whichever one we're running will come up when you go billcaskey.masterclass. Sometimes they're for sales VPs and CEOs. Sometimes they're for sales professionals. Either way, that's where I'd go. Check it out. It's in the show notes. See you next time.